Hello friends, thank you for tuning in. Let's say that your buddy sends you a link to a video where he is just beating the absolute dog snot out of a scope. He's twisting on the turrets and he is beating on this thing. He's pouring water on it, laying it out in the sun, and he has been absolutely rough on it. Would you say yes or would you say no? You know, part of you is like, man, I gotta see this thing. If it's built like that, I want to try it. But what Joe did was he turned around and sent me the ARKEN EP4. It's the MOA version. It has a 34 millimeter main tube. It is a 6-24x50, and it has a ton of features in it, and I love it. It's got 0 stops that are absolutely positive. But now when he said he was going to send it to me, he sent me the tracking number, and I decided I better go ahead and start finding a set of rings. So I got on ARKEN's website, and I grabbed a set of their 34 millimeter ARKEN Halo mid rings. So I figured if we're going to test out the ARKEN scope, we might as well test it with ARKEN rings. That way if we have a failure in either one, we know where the fault lies. Well, this thing has traveled with me. If it hasn't traveled 8,000 or 9,000 miles with me, I don't know how far it's traveled. It's been in my truck. My truck's dark colored. It is hot in Tennessee right now. So this thing has been hot and it has cooled off, so expanding and contracting back and forth. And I've got a buddy that's really retentive. He doesn't like for you to be rough on stuff. He and I went to the range one day, and I took my rifle case and just absolutely heaved it in the bed of the truck. You should have seen him come unglued. And I said, that's part of what I'm supposed to be doing. I am supposed to be rough on this thing, see if it'll come undone. But now I've taken it out, and I've had an absolute blast. My little rifle, I didn't realize it, but my little rifle will often shoot half MOA, and it's due in part to the magnification of that scope. Now that scope does hold a really good 0, and I had done a previous video with it where I was beating the snot out of this scope. And the problem I had in that video pushed a little bit past 11 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to truncate that video and make it a nice small size so you guys can watch it. But now this is not for the weak stomach. I beat the absolute snot out of this thing. So let's go and watch. So we've come down here to the public shooting range, and the only time I like public shooting ranges is when the public isn't here. I only have to worry about myself today. But now I wanted a good solid table so we could check our accuracy and see how good we can shoot this thing. But I also wanted a good solid table because I'm going to give this rifle several good whacks on this table in between shots. So here we've got the ARKEN EP4 6-24x50. And I do expect a point of impact change. I am running a little bit of a different ammo today than what I normally do. I don't know where it's going to land, but what we're going to do is we're just going to maintain that same 0 and just keep going with it. So I've got 6 rounds loaded up. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. I've got a target and a camera set up downrange. Let's have at it. Boy, my glasses are fogging up. Y'all are just going to have to forgive me on that one. So that one's just a little bit low and right, but we're going to maintain that same 0. So let's go ahead and start twisting on this thing like old Joe does. And I love this 0 stop. The 0 stop on this, it always just right back. So there's the first one. Let's go for this. All right, now test number 1. Let's give this thing several good whacks on the table. Stock didn't like that. I really don't like this little short mag, but that's what we got because we're shooting off of a table. Here goes shot number 3. Touching, it's pretty neat. All right.
Oh, my wrist hadn't hurt this bad since I was 13.
Yeah, I should have chose a different gun. That stock doesn't like it, but it's all in the name of science. Touching again. That's cool. So now, oops, we accidentally dropped it. Final test. Well, let's give it one more good whack. I think I just cost myself an MFT stock. Last round. It looks like, outside of that first round, we have got a solid group. It put up with it. I really like this. Now I'm going to roll in a breakdown of the reticle and let you see it. It ranges various distances based off of the height of a human and the average width of a human. So if you can't see the whole person, you can go from shoulder to shoulder. The only thing that I would add would be an illuminated reticle. Now that may add too much to the complexity of the scope, so I might as well just dream on. But as for the rest of the scope, I really like it. And it's not too often that you get to review a YouTuber while you review a product. So Joe has proven to be truthful on this one, because I have beat the snot out of this thing the same way that he did, and it is performing exactly like what he said. So Joe, thumbs up. You're a stand-up guy. You're very entertaining, and we like you. So now if you go to order this from Arken, use the code Cyclops. Joe is an affiliate and I'm not, and that code Cyclops will help them track what he is selling and what he is moving. And like I said, I'm not an affiliate, so use his code and let it go. But Joe, I really do appreciate the opportunity to let me see this. I'm going to leave a link to his videos with this scope below. And of course, that'll be a link to his channel as well. So if you don't know who Joe is, go ahead and subscribe to him. Check him out. He's a great fella. I really like him. So now it's time to wrap up this video. And if you feel like I've earned it, please subscribe. I've had an absolute influx of subscribers lately. So thank you to all the new subscribers. I am super thankful that you have taken an interest in what I do. Big thumbs up to you guys. But also, I have a link below to my Patreon. So if you feel like helping with channel consumables, ammunition, and other things like that, go check out my Patreon link. Oftentimes, I will put an early video, so you get to see it on Patreon before you see it on YouTube. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you next video. And for all my ARFCOM buddies, I love you.